In this video, we're gonna go on a little adventure to northern Palawan to see the Dugong, these elusive and magical creatures. To the end of the earth with the most beautiful water on the planet. Let's take a look around. In order to go dugong watching, you have to go on a boat from northern Busuanga to the small island of Calauit, which is the home and ancestral domain of the Tagbanua tribe. Here you're welcomed on a nice dock and you get to go in, and this is where you register for the Dugong tours. This is managed by the community themselves there. We were very fortunate to be received by Apo Fidel, one of the Tagbanua elders and a Dugong expert.
Good morning, welcome sa ating community to.
After registering for your tour, you get on a boat and head out to the Dugong site. The waters here are absolutely gorgeous, and the environment in this place is so well preserved by the Tagbanua tribe. It's their job to bantay dugong and bantay dagat, bantay kalikasan. So they're the ones taking care of this incredible area. This particular bay is by the location where the seagrasses are, and where Aban, the famous male dugong, resides. And this tower here is a dugong watching tower, or actually the place where the coast guards and the people looking out for the conservation of the dugong are. Once the dugong have been spotted and before you go out, the expert tribesmen give you safety briefing and go over the guidelines.
Dugong guidelines sa una po, sa unang, dahil sakto lang po tayo, isang guide at apat po kayong bababa at apat na turista pa, no? Ngayon, kapag naka-encuentro, malapit na po tayo sa isda, kailangan po yung ano po natin, distansya ay nasa 5 meters po tayo. My guys, to my vlog.
The dugong, or scientifically Dugong, is a mammal that eats seagrass. It's specifically categorized as the only marine herbivorous mammal and the only living representative of the once diverse family Dugongidae. Its closest and much larger relative, the Steller's sea cow, was hunted and became extinct in the 18th century. The dugong is largely dependent on seagrass and feeds on it. You can see all this shrapnel from the feeding it's been doing. It's largely present in the Indo-West Pacific region, which includes Australia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. They occur in wide, shallow, protected areas such as bays and mangrove channels. Yet they're restricted in coastal habitats as they're threatened. For thousands of years, the dugong has been poached and hunted for meat and oil. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the dugong is listed as vulnerable to extinction, while the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species has resolved to limit or ban the trade of products derived from the dugong. Dugongs are also known as sea cows and can grow to as much as 3 meters in length and weigh up to 400 kilograms. We can learn a lot about sustainable use and responsible stewardship from the dugong. This mammal consumes a lot of seagrass, yet it leaves the seagrass bed even healthier than before when it came. When feeding, the dugong helps release micronutrients from the seabed, making nutrients more accessible for small fish. That's why you always see fish swimming around with the dugong. This marine mammal, living in the simplest of lives, is one of the best caretakers of our seagrass habitats and the animals that live in them. Dugongs eat up to 40 kilograms of seagrass each day, which just means they're constantly chomping. Here you can see Aban, the friendliest and most famous dugong here in the Philippines, eating what we call the Halophilia ovalis, which, unlike most types of seagrass, has round leaves instead of flowing grass blades. Right here, I took a big breath and was gonna go down, dive deep to find Aban, and I'm looking around for him thinking, hey, where'd he go? He was just there chomping on some grass. And then I looked up and he was coming up right at us. And then this started out to be, the beginning of a long, wild swim with him. The word dugong comes from the Malay word duyong, meaning lady of the sea. I suppose if you've been offshore and away from people for a long time, you might mistake these creatures as mermaids and sea sirens. But this time we were really lucky to have such a great encounter with Aban, the old man of the sea here. We had tried to find him one time before, but we were unsuccessful. So this time we were really stoked to get such a nice interaction with him, and he was very friendly and playful with us, and we had really an amazing, magical time swimming with him here. Right here is the last encounter I had with Aban. It was really special because I was the only one around. The other boats had left, and we got to swim side by side for quite some time. After this incredible long experience and interaction with Aban, we set back to the shore for a quick break and a nice refreshing coconut, and then we set off for another island. As we were on our way, Apo Fidel and the crew just casually threw this hand line into the water and were able to pull out this incredible fish. Yun!
Okay, Abo, dan kwan, balo.
Anong isda?
Kwan,
Tulingan.
Tulingan din.
Tulingan dan.
Kanina, one pa lang.
The water there is really so abundant. Tulingan off the boat. Alright, fresh fish. They pulled out one fish after another. It was amazing. And that ended up being our lunch. But back to the adventure. Let's go. When we got to this next island, we were just so amazed by how clear the water was. And somebody said that they spotted some dugongs. So I put the drone up right away and we started looking. And then we saw these guys. So amazing. Mother and child, female dugong and her calf. It's really phenomenal because dugongs have a really long gestation period, and I think it's kind of rare to see them, the juveniles in the wild. And yeah, we got so lucky here, and we're so stoked. We followed these guys around for some time. Dugongs are thought to live as long as humans, about 70 years on average. And they only give birth to a single calf every 3 to 5 years, carrying their calves in their wombs for up to 14 months. So they're globally classified as vulnerable and considered critically endangered and legally protected here in the Philippines because they're just incredibly sparse numbers. So their importance for the ecotourism here and for the habitat is something that the Tagbanua really value, and they protect them because it's really a part of their beliefs that they have to be stewards of their environment and the creatures here. And it was really great to hear from the Tagbanua tribesmen firsthand about how important this wildlife is to them. And it's great to be able to work with them to figure out how we can try and improve ecotourism services that they're providing so that they can continue and multiply and reproduce like this mother dugong and a baby. Okay, now I'm going to read you some fun facts about dugongs. They can hold their breath for over 10 minutes. They have to breathe in oxygen from the surface. But yeah, they can dive as deep as 33 meters when they go feeding. That's pretty cool. What else? Poor eyesight, but excellent hearing. Living in shallow waters that are often well illuminated, dugongs do not depend greatly on their eyes, but they've been found to communicate using sounds varying in amplitudes and frequencies. These include chirps, barks, and whistles. They have hair. Their skin may appear sleek, but it's actually covered in thin hairs that are thought to contribute to their tactile senses. These hairs are most concentrated around their mouths. They are more closely related to elephants than whales. This is amazing. Protein analysis of dugong eye lenses suggested that they share a common ancestor with elephants. And like elephants, dugongs can grow tusks. These are found in males as well as older females. And interestingly, you can estimate a dugong's age by the number of rings that they have on their tusks, just like in a tree. And their brains make up less than 1% of their body weight, with few natural predators and simple foraging strategies that require little coordination. Dugongs have extremely small brains that weigh only about 300 grams. Young dugong calves like this stay with their mothers for approximately 18 months before becoming fully independent. Okay, moving on. Dugongs mature later than most other marine mammals. It takes 8 to 18 years for dugongs to reach full sexual maturity. Right. On the other side of the island is a critical habitat that is managed by the women of the community. 130 hectares of these mangroves are protected. These ancestral waters house these shellfish called kachipay. They are really an amazing, amazing food source here.
So this is the kachipay. Wow. have to answer them all before I knew it.
Kachipay. I got the drone footage of us harvesting, so I'm gonna force myself to make a video of this eventually.
Okay, I'm filming, rolling.
Alright, so this is the kachipay that we just harvested from the dagat nandun. And they say it's a complete food, lasang dagat. So hindi na kailangan add anything. So I'm just making sure I get all of it. And here we go. So it was grilled. And it's actually just good on its own. Perfect. Boom, kachipay. I'd like to say a special thank you to Chairman Roy and Apo Fidel, the Samtana Institute, Philippine Women's University, and to everyone that helped us on this trip. So if you're interested to experience this place yourself, please let us know in the comments and get in touch. You can see from this pier here, this is where you load on the boat to go visit Kalawit Island and the Tagbanua there and get your chance to see these beautiful dugongs here. So you can get in touch with the community on their Facebook page or through this number. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing so you can see one in the next video. All right, take care and bam buhay.